So we are a bit late to the party, but we're gonna do this anyway because I have read stuff. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today we are going to be doing my April wrap-up. So we are already in May, but since I've read some stuff in April and it was my birthday month, I decided to wrap this up. I've done some rereads, I have read manga, and I have read my first ebook, which I'm going to talk about. So this ebook was kindly sent to me by Odyssey Books. They are a New Zealand printer, I think. But I'm going to leave all of their links down below so that you can go and see who they are. They have a really interesting selection of books that I haven't heard about. I think that they're an indie printer, so if you can just go and check if there are any books that you would like. I'm not sponsored to say this, I just think that we should help our indie printers because, you know, they're doing stuff and we should try and help everyone in the business of books. So as I was saying, they offered this ebook to me in return for a review, and of course I said that all of my opinions are my own, but I actually found the book rather interesting. It's not the type of book that I usually read, but I found it interesting. It's a middle-of-the-road book for me. You can see it's the first work in novelization of the two co-authors, but it's a very interesting topic and that I think should be explored better. So the ebook in question is The Court of the Grandchildren by Michael. I hope I'm saying the names correctly. I'm going to try and put the picture of the book here. If I can't, I am going to leave a link down below my Goodreads review so that you can go and read more about what the book is about. And Court of the Grandchildren is basically the story of these two main characters, this woman and this old man, which is very, very interesting. There's two different POVs, you're seeing from both of their perspectives, and this woman figures out that she is the last living family member of this old man's family. And he wants to die. He's sick and he's in pain and he's tired of his life and he really just wants to die. But in this utopian world where we are very in tune with technology, there's a lot of AIs, there's a lot of technology development. For you to be able to die, you have to have a signed permission of your closest familiar, so that's how they meet each other. So she basically goes and meets him, and she understands that he has to have an appearance in this climacterical court about the changes in the environment. What happens is there are floods, the ice is melting, everything like that. So it's like all of the things that are going to happen in a very near future. So it's like you should see yourself as the old man in the story if you are my age, sort of, because it's some years from now what is going to be happening to all of the world and how the oceans are going to overflow and the temperatures are going to just go crazy and everything. So he had a part to play in all of the situations in environment and environmental protection and environmental destruction. And so she gets very curious and she says that she will only sign his permission to die if he actually goes to court and fulfills his civic duty, which he doesn't really want to. As I've said before, it's a very interesting book since it touches upon subjects of generations, of trauma, of immigration, of racism. It also touches upon climacterical alterations and what is going to happen, or scientists believe will happen in a few years if we continue to pollute and to not pay attention to the environment. So it has a lot of components that make it interesting. However, I have to say that you can see it's a first time written a novel for these two authors because the characters are a bit one-dimensional. They don't stick out of the paper, and some of their descriptions are a bit too glued to telling us facts and not making us involved. However, I think that the topics speak for themselves and it's a very interesting novel. So if you have the time and you actually enjoy these types of novels, I would fairly recommend. I think it was interesting. It's not the best book that I've read at all, but it's very interesting, and I think that sometimes we should give a shot to things that we don't know just so we can get to know more stuff. Another shameless plug telling you that if you want to know more about this book, my Goodreads is going to be linked down below with my socials so that you go and check out my review on it. So the next books that I've read are basically rereads of the Grishaverse because the Grisha Shadow and Bone series came out in April, which, yes, best birthday gift, even though my birthday was on April 6th and not on the 23rd, but I mean, let's consider it was a gift to me. And because Rule of Wolves came out on March 30 and it appeared in my home in April, and so I wanted to reread The Shadow and Bone. I did not reread the Six of Crows duology because I remember that. I wanted to read King of Scars, and then I wanted to read Rule of Wolves, which I actually did. So in my last wrap-up, I said I've read Shadow and Bone in March, and now I've read Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising, both by Leigh Bardugo, obviously because she's the creator of the Grishaverse. So this is book 2 and 3 in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, or the Grishatrilogy as people normally call it, which is the first trilogy in all of the Grishaverse series. And as per usual, I really enjoy this. I obviously enjoy the Six of Crows duology more, and most of people do, but I don't understand people that bash this series because I absolutely love it. I'm not going to say a lot about this because I have videos that I've done for each of the books in the Grishaverse where I tell you my first reactions to the books, and they basically didn't change. I just enjoyed it. I love getting back into this world. I love being with Alina and Mal and Nikolai, which we meet in book 2 and then through book 3. And I am dying to see who they're going to cast as Nikolai if we get season 2. Because Nikolai, you know what I mean. Then I reread King of Scars, obviously by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in the Nikolai duology. So I've read this one because I was preparing for Rule of Wolves. And again, I'm not going to talk a lot about this. I have an entirety of a vlog where I read this for the first time, so I'm going to leave it link somewhere as all of the others. I have a playlist of all of the Grishaverse vlogs that I have. As it was in the first time, King of Scars is not at all my favorite book in the Grishaverse series. I feel like in terms of world building and in terms of plot, something happened here that I was just like, I understand where you're going, but why though? So yeah, but it's still fairly cool because we're following some of my favorite characters, and because of that, we love it. Yeah. And then finally, for the Grishaverse, I read for the first time Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo, and this is a beautiful Illumicrate edition, which I'm going to be featuring in a book haul when I do one, because this is one of my recent purchases, but spoilers for that, I guess. So I have a vlog of me reading this for the first time. It's a vlog that counts with 1 hour and a quarter. But I mean, if you like the Grishaverse and you want to hear me screaming for 1 hour, which is basically what I do in that vlog, you are most than welcome to watch it. I'm going to leave it link up above, as I said. I love this. It wasn't the best Grishaverse book for me. Again, for me, that is the Six of Crows duology. However, I really enjoyed where this was going. I guessed some of the plot, but some of the things were a bit surprising to me, and I love seeing our favorite characters just doing crazy shit. And yeah, we love the Grishaverse. We do. Also, the pain of the ships in here. The pain. Well, one particular ship. I love it. And then I've read some manga, which I have conflicting opinions about. The first manga that I read was... I don't even know how to describe that. And then the last two were amazing. So the first manga that I read is last month. I don't even know how to talk when I'm looking at this because I don't even know what this is. So yeah, I read Raw Hero Volume 1. This is by Akira Hiramoto. I have no idea what the fuck this is about. Okay, so this is basically about this dude. I don't even know his name because, frankly, I don't fucking care. And this dude, he has a younger brother and... No, 2 younger brothers? Or 1 younger brother and 1 sister. I don't know. It's something like that. And so they don't have parents anymore, apparently, but they are not in... social services. They're living together. I don't know how. And this older brother is looking for a job. He wants to make his brothers happy. He wants to give them comfort, a home, food for them to eat, clothes for them to put on. He wants to be the man of the house. And so one day when he's at a train, he sees a man groping a woman. And he he's like, I'm late for a job interview, I'm not going to talk about this, but he is supposed to be like the goodest person, like the best person you will ever meet in your life, you know? And so he steps forward and he says, stop doing that to that woman. And turns out that that was sort of a test that the dude was doing to figure out who was the best person in that train, which, what? And so that dude proposes to him that he goes and works for his company. His company is sort of a hero company, hence why he was looking for such a good person in a train while groping a woman for some reason. And this hero company works against a villain company. I mean, are we surprised? And so he hires him. However, for his first job, the main dude of the company switches the suitcases that are supposed to give him clues for the job, and he ends up having to dress as a woman and being kind of interviewed by the villains to actually go and work for them. So he's doing like a double work. He's double crossing the villains inside. He's an inside man, but he has to work as a woman, dressed as a woman with a wig and everything. And of course he's in danger, and he's not supposed to do that because he's a beginner, but he does it. And it's just, I am not at all the person for whom this manga was drawn and written, because there's so much fan service here, and I usually like plot. I don't mind fan service. I mean, some butts here and there are not going to kill anyone. But there is no plot. There's no plot. The plot is this. The dude is now supposed to pass as a girl and work for the enemy while actually spying on them, which could be cool, but it really isn't, because there's a lot of sex analogies and stuff that don't make sense and are a bit repugnant. This is not for me at all. I don't know what to say. It's not, the art is good and that's it, because there's no plot. There's no plot at all. And I'm sorry if this is a favorite manga, but it's not for me. It could be the favorite manga of someone else, but not me. And then I read two incredible mangas. The first of that was The Promised Neverland Volume 18 by Posuka Demisu and Kayu Shirai. I should know their names already. I've been reading 18 volumes of this, and I am sure you've heard me talk about this, so I'm not going to tell you the synopsis of this again because I'm getting sick and tired of doing that, but this volume was incredible. I just found out something about my favorite character, and it was just... It's just so great, and there's only 2 volumes left, and I am dying. I want to make a review of the entirety of the series and compare it with the animation, which I haven't seen because I'm really afraid of being spoiled for the last plot points of the 2 books. There's a big thing that we don't know yet, and I am very concerned. I love these characters, and look at this. Just look. So, my favorite character is an anti-hero. And I loved his plot, and he might be dying, so I'm very sad about that. No spoilers, but I really am. So yeah, I love this. And the last manga that I've read in this month is, of course, a great manga. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is, but since it's from one of my favorite mangakas, I mean, I should. And I don't know if I can pronounce this, but let's try. So the name of this is DEDEDEDE Demons DEDEDEDE Destruction, Volume 1. And this is by Inio Asano. If you don't know, I've read 2 Inio Asano books. Normally he has one-shot mangas, so just one standalone volume, but this is actually a series, and I have got the first one, and I thought, well, let's see what this is about. And I didn't have my expectations too high, because this is basically... I'm gonna just read you the synopsis of this because I don't know how to explain this. So, 3 years ago, aliens invaded Tokyo. Nothing was ever the same again. After a while, even impending doom starts to feel ordinary. So basically, since 3 years prior to what's happening here, there's this sort of floating devices that are aliens that are just on top of the city. So there's no sun. The city has no sun. People are still living there, but there's things. The aliens are not menacing, but they're not good either, because you need sun to cultivate and to feed yourself and to have vitamin and stuff, and you don't. So the Japan Self-Defense Forces are still looking for a way to combat the alien threat, but so far conventional weapons have had no effect. Maybe it's time to try something unconventional. Meanwhile, Kadore Koyama and her best friend avidly track the aliens' movements on social media and less enthusiastically study for college entrance exams. When the end of the world looms overhead, you learn to take things one step at a time. And this is just a social criticism and a media criticism to its core. And it's just so funny. And I wasn't expecting, because sci-fi is a hit or miss for me. Normally, I don't enjoy to read it, and I like to watch movies about it, especially horror sci-fi. But reading it is not really my thing, and I don't actively search for things with aliens and sci-fi-ish themes. But this was so cool. Our main character is this girl, and she has this best friend who is also a girl, and they have like a lot of friends, and they are trying to like understand what's going on with their lives with this impending doom on top of them, which basically, if we're honest with ourselves, every single one of us going through puberty actually feels like impending doom is looming over us, and we still have to go on with our lives. And this is so cool. I have laughed a lot, but I've also felt sad, which Asano does that. He just kills you from the inside, and the art is just beautiful. I mean, beautiful. I will show you. There you go. Double pages. And I really enjoy this. I don't know how to explain. I don't even know how to say what this is, but I've only read one volume, so I think I still have to read more. But I am very excited, and I was thinking that this was going to be my least favorite Asano manga. It's not going to. I don't even think I will have a least favorite Asano manga, because they're all so fucking great. So yeah guys, that's it for my April wrap-up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, leave a like or subscribe, and tell me down below if you've read any of this, if you're interested in any of this, particularly in the manga, because I know that a lot of people read the Grishaverse. So yeah, but in the manga, if you're interested in it, just tell me something down below, or if you know it, and if you know the Court of the Grandchildren, because that one was unexpected and interesting. So yeah, that's gonna be all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye!